Transition. All right, we're live. This is the first Novena cast, I guess we're gonna call it. Live from Sista Felicia's. Why don't you guys introduce yourself, starting here?
Hi, I'm Lisa Tilsey.
Andrea Carlson.
Bridget Matthews.
Sista Felicia. Coconut.
Eleanor Tucker. Erin Good.
Maureen Henderson. Come on in, Kim.
And Kim DeGiorgio. Hi, Kim.
Everyone knows Ralph.
We have to.
This is Ralph's better half.
I know, it's your first time in front of the camera. That's huge. We also need to do a special shout out to our regular podcast sponsor, Mom's Kitchen.
Oh, you can get your update that you needed.
I know. Well, we talked about it yesterday, but do you want to give a few words for that?
Well, it's coming along, and of course, not as quickly as you always want construction or whatever you're doing to your home or restaurant to come along, but it is, and it's going to be worth the wait, because all good things come to those who wait.
That's right.
And that's what I keep on telling them. And it's coming along great, though. It's going to be so nice once it's all put together and we have the tables set up and all our paintings in place and that sort of thing.
Do you have a general idea?
Well, I'm hoping to know more by the end of this week. We have built a breakfast bar and actually a small kitchen downstairs, so the people that do look forward to seeing us cook will be able to still do that, although we do have a full kitchen upstairs. So once the countertops come in and they're in place, I think it shouldn't be too much longer. So
Great.
We're all on standby to help her too.
yeah,
Oh, that's
We're
nice.
a cleanup crew.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, we're looking forward to it too down at the dock. So where do we begin? This is when you guys did the pasta making
On Saturday.
and you had a big.
Did we make?
We're gonna know today.
Oh yeah, that's true.
We're gonna know in an hour.
Well, give us some of the stats. How many pounds of flour did you buy? How many
God.
bags?
Okay, so we went through 125 and.
And then there was another small bag that was open
I know,
too.
that was enough. I'm gonna say,
130 pounds, 140.
And that's usually a kind
yeah,
of
probably around 140, 145 pounds of flour.
And what is? Why don't we back up a little bit and give people an idea why you guys make the pasta and what St. Joseph's Novena is all about?
Why we make the pasta?
Yeah, why?
Well,
so this is ahead of time. What day is St. Joseph's
Oh, well,
Day?
all right, well, first of all, we grew up doing it the morning of St. Joseph's. You would make the pasta that morning at the crack of dawn. We're a little bit more advanced than our grandparents and aunts and everything now with technology and all the machines. And St. Barry made us the drying rack, so we dry our pasta. Most people boil theirs fresh. So, having said that, we can prepare it months in advance. It's not gonna be bad, we seal it in airtight things. So that's why this year is the earliest we've ever done it. We usually do it in February, but we got together for coffee last week. Come on in. We got together for coffee a couple weeks ago after Christmas, just had a morning coffee time, and we all decided that this weekend would work out great. Everybody was free. It was a holiday weekend. A lot of women that worked during the day had today off, so they were able to join us. Because we let our pasta dry for 2 days before we package it up, or try for 2 days. So we're going to be a couple of hours short of 2 days, but it's dried now. I can tell it. It's ready to go.
Once it starts falling off,
Yeah. So it looks good. So we'll have the final numbers.
How many women were here from pasta making day?
It was a record.
It was a record. What did I say? It was 43 or 47? I posted it. Was it
43 or 40.
Yeah, throughout the day.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It was about 43 throughout the day.
Yeah.
The pasta making.
Of all
machine.
ages. Come on, Dee. Come sit.
Hi, Dee. Dean Oble's with us.
He's in the house.
Sorry I'm late.
That's all right. No,
If you
it's
sit
fine.
next
We
to,
changed
if you
the
sit
time.
over here, you'll be better in the
Sure.
shot.
Thank you.
So Pasta Day happened, like I said, the earliest we've ever done it.
Yes.
We had a blast, as always. It's a fun day. We call it our Super Bowl. And this year, the biggest thing we noticed was all the young kids. are getting tired of being pasta runners, which are very key parts of the whole operation. And they all want to have more responsibilities and start moving up to different jobs. So next year, we're gonna be recruiting a lot of young kids because we were really, really kind of screwed this year, begging for a runner.
They don't wanna run, they wanna make the pasta.
They wanna learn how to make it.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of Kim DeGiorgio, very intent, I could see
I didn't
how
wanna mess up, I wanted to make sure that I
you felt
was
pressure.
true to my job.
You felt
Kim,
pressure.
this was Kim's
Well,
first
she's a
year.
perfectionist at
Until
anything.
about 1 o'clock, and then she was like, I'm gonna be hanging too now. I'll be hanging for 30 years.
I closed my eyes and that's all I saw was pasta drying.
There
By
you
the
go.
end of the day, once your back starts hurting, then you know you're getting close to having made enough
Yeah,
pasta.
yeah,
Last
exactly.
year, we were like, wow, we feel pretty good, and then it turns out we didn't
We didn't make enough. We didn't make enough.
Ah, that's your tell right there. That's the tell.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see.
So, no, but the kids were awesome. I enjoy them so much. So next year again, we're gonna be looking for some young kids to be our pasta runners. And a pasta runner, for people that don't understand what we're talking about, we have everybody broken up. The whole operation is very orchestrated by me, Dee, Bridget,
Well-oiled machine.
well-oiled machine. Everybody.
There's stations though.
There are stations, and every station is important. There's no one more important than the other. But we have so many people, we hand make our dough, even though I have a commercial mixer, we still do it by hand. So we have a group of women doing that. At the same time, we have at my kitchen island, how many mixers do we have this year? Six electric KitchenAid mixers with the rolling attachment. So we roll our pasta out on the KitchenAid mixers. I do not like how the fettuccine cutters cut on the KitchenAid mixers. That's why we go old school with all our grandmother's hand crank pasta machines on the fettuccine, because it really does cut it better. So once the rollers receive the dough, and we have these long sheets, we call for a runner, and that's the kids, and they come over and they extend their hands like this, and we drape long sheets of pasta over their arms, and they carry it over to a table where there are cutters. And we measure our pasta to be 18 inches long, so we have marks on the table, and the girls cut it. They put the scraps in a bowl, and we keep those separate, and they get re-rolled at the end of the day, so all pasta gets rolled twice. Well, first time around, and then the scraps will get rolled a second time, and we keep that pasta separate, or at least try to, so we know where it is. It all tastes the same, but still. And then once it goes with the cutters, we have a long table set up with all the hand crank machines, so then that's another job. There's several girls that will go and feed these measured out, sheets of pasta through the hand crank machines. Then they're transferred over to hangers. We call them the hanger girls. And the hanger girls are strategic. That's what Kim did this year, and Maureen and Erin. Dee does everything. But they're the girls that it's painstakingly, it's a torturous job. And it is an important job because we need to utilize every square inch of every single rack in order to have enough
These
space
racked up.
and have enough pasta.
Yep.
So,
Once the dough's made, it has to be weighed.
yes, so once the dough, I forgot that Lisa's aware. Once the dough is made, then we actually measure it out into dough balls before it goes through the rollers. So we have it down to a science, measurements, mixing. Dee is our quality controller, and everybody knows, don't be offended if your piece of pasta didn't make the cut and it gets put, it's rejected and it gets put in the re-roll pile, because
Too
we,
soft.
yeah. We pride ourselves on the beautiful pasta that we
Just
make.
kept our heads down every time she talked. I say Sista. Look at me. Look up, it might be you.
Yeah, a couple of times there were some doughs coming through the share, and they were so soft, and it slows down us on the rollers, because then you have to start working flour into the dough to make it not so sticky. So it's frustrating for us, and Dee comes over and she goes, I don't want to go over there and tell them that it's their dough. And I was like, that's your job. Your job is to control operations manager. You have
And
to.
Felicia's like, you can do this, go tell them.
Yeah.
Remove her from adding water.
Yeah.
You don't need the whole 2 cups.
Yeah. So no, but everybody takes it. It's, lightheartedly, you know, no
No
one's
one's ever
perfect.
fired.
No one's ever fired.
Nope.
You can try to get fired from a job, but you're not gonna get fired here anyway.
Don't work it.
I was afraid of being fired.
Look, I knocked over a statue with my butt. And
Yes, and
I was not fired.
She's still not fired, no. No, so we have, you know, it's an awesome day, and the kids get just as excited as us. Like Connor was so bummed that he couldn't come because he wasn't feeling good.
Yeah.
Because my rule is if you're sick, you can't attend.
Yeah.
Because we're handling food. And no, we do not sell our pasta. Unfortunately, I can't because I'm not in a commercial kitchen and it is not for sale. All the pasta that we make is served to our family and for us to take it home in bags and enjoy throughout the year. And we also keep X amount of bags that we give to the sick throughout the year too. If someone's ill and they ask for prayers, I will deliver a bag, not to every single person, because we get a lot of prayer requests throughout the year, and we light candles for everybody on our altar that we have set up year round. Not the big altar, but a small altar. Our altar never comes down. So some of the pasta is used for the sick throughout our community and our families and
This is
stuff.
our 7th year, right?
This is our 7th year of pasta marathon, yes.
Tell me about the home handmade bread altar that's going to be 10 feet tall.
Well,
Only 10 feet?
wasn't it 10 feet?
I feel like it was like 16.
Was
just
it?
saying, yeah.
Okay, maybe it was.
It might have been.
Joey, how far is the top of that curtain? No, just kidding.
It was pretty far up there.
Yeah.
Of what?
It was pretty
The
far.
top of the.
No, it was like
Top of
near
this-
the point of that medallion.
Medallion.
Yeah.
That's more than
I
10
would
feet.
say that's about. I would say it's about 13 feet. I'm 6 feet tall, so I'd say there's two of me.
Okay, all right, so 13 feet, whatever.
Yeah.
Give or take.
There you go.
Yeah, so,
Huge.
no, so, every year, just, if you know about St. Joseph's and the tradition in our community and throughout the country in Sicily, where it came from, every year the altars would have a different theme. It would have a different color, there's some sort of meaning, there's always, petitions for a certain, every family has their own petition as to why they're a host family. So, Bridget and I usually brainstorm. Sometimes it just comes to me, I'll have a dream and a vision, and, you know, the first 2 years we did it, I dreamt red and white, and I'm not a red and white person, but we did red and white because that was the dream. Last year, it
The
came,
last few years, we've been kind of discussing, wouldn't it be nice to go old school and do
Yes.
it bread? But we had no clue what we were getting into
Yeah.
until we
Yeah.
decided to do it.
yeah. So last year, we really were doing a lot of research, like what the culture was like for the rosaries in Sicily. And we've been talking about taking a trip one year and us going there for St. Joseph's and experiencing it firsthand. So in researching all that, Bridget and I came across these incredible structures made of handmade bread. The altars are completely constructed of bread. And these women gather in these little kitchens in Sicily months in advance, and they handcraft all these little breads. Now, we have no.
How does the bread
teachers.
hold up and not get soggy or
It's a
soft?
dead dough.
It's a dead
There's
dough,
no
yeah.
yeast in it.
Oh, the old
So-
dead dough trick. Ah, I get you.
It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard.
It is.
Is there a
And
meaning? Is there a meaning for the bread?
Well, the bread is it represents the sawdust of St. Joseph was a carpenter.
Right.
So that's why you give the bread the lemon, the orange. But the
I thought the bread symbolizes that you'll never go hungry.
The
Yeah.
sustenance, yeah.
yeah, you never go
too,
hungry.
right.
Yeah, and it's the sawdust.
Right.
For the carpenter,
Okay.
yeah. But so while we were researching, Bridget and I were like, oh, we should try to do an altar like that. So we didn't tell everybody because we didn't know
Well, it was-
exactly how we didn't know if we were gonna be able to achieve it, let's just put it that
And
way, right?
let's just say, it was supposed to be a small, intimate
Yeah,
altar.
Yes, it was supposed to be a small, we were gonna do a smaller
Nothing small
altar.
at Felicia's house. Nothing.
Go big or go home.
That's it.
Yeah. So we
Should have known better.
We were trying to research. We didn't even have the dough recipe. We just went online and saw pictures of what these women were making.
So we
And
did
so
trial and error.
We did trial and error, different flours, different concoctions, different temperatures.
Spraying it with sugar.
Spraying it, yeah.
Sugar water.
So once we figured it out, then I called in a couple of other the Novena girls, and we started making bread. It took us over a month and a half last year to make all the intricate pieces that were on the altar.
It was something.
So, yeah, oh, we made the picture
Oh,
frames, yeah, we even
Everything
had,
was made out of
everything
dough.
was made out of dough. The whole entire altar, except for the actual structure and the saints that were on it, and the lemons and the oranges and the greenery
Yeah.
was bread.
Everything.
What?
The bread that you did, could you do it again, does it last just that 1 year?
We'll
Well,
find
we'll
out.
find out in a couple of weeks when we unwrap
That's
it.
how much work went into it, I
Yeah,
thought.
we-
this
Yeah.
is-
We
wrapped it.
Hopefully we have
Yeah.
it, and it's
Oh, you saved it?
We
Yeah.
saved it.
Oh, wow, wow,
Yeah,
that's
we
cool.
saved, we
Dead
wrapped everything in
Dead
bubble
dog.
wrap, we, sealed it airtight.
It still looks
From
good.
last year.
Yeah, everything's in my basement right now.
We're hoping. We are hoping not to have to make more bread this year. So, after we put the altar up, and it was absolutely, it was beyond our expectations. We shocked ourselves. It took us 2.5 days to put the altar up. It was very, very intricate and delicate, you would say. You had to be very careful. You couldn't just like rush in and be slamming stuff around because the pieces would break. So once we got it up and, people started sharing it on Facebook, so many people felt, even though our rosary is open to the public, like anyone's rosary in town, anybody can go to anyone's house and attend a rosary, some people feel uncomfortable. And a lot of families, like us girls growing up with this tradition, we didn't have families for years, when our aunts and our grandmothers stopped doing it, we had no place to go. So our group is kind of grown from our girls our age that, missed having this tradition in their life. So they came, but there's a lot of people out in our community that still feel funny to come. So after the altar last year, in conjunction with knowing that there's so many people that don't feel comfortable coming to someone's house without a, personal invite, we decided to take it on the road this year. So
Can I give it a
This is a big news, right? That's big news. This is big news. We need a drum roll right now.
We are taking, yeah, where's the sound effects around? Yeah, so we're taking our altar on the road, and we really want to go back to the actual roots of Sicily and be like them and open it up to our community. And my husband and I have rented the American Legion Hall in the same place that the St. Peter's Club rents to do the St. Peter's Rosary in June. We will be hosting our rosary and our altar open to all this year at the American Legion Hall on Washington Street in Gloucester. So we're
Great.
super excited.
March
Super
10th
excited.
to the 18th.
Yep. March
Say-
10th through the
Hold
18th.
on. Say it again, clearly.
March 10th through the 18th.
There you
Yeah.
go. So, is there a certain time that you start?
At night, it's at 6:30.
We're gonna post
Weekdays at 6:30, and on weekends, what time?
9:30 in the
9:30
morning.
Do most people bring pastries and stuff?
We're gonna.
We
Because
encourage it.
that's all I'm really thinking about. That's all.
It's kind of the tradition to do
Yeah.
that.
Listen,
Well, I mean, I seen the when you guys go to the St. Peter's Rosary, everybody's bringing a
Yeah.
really
they
nice
assign
pastry.
tables to the people who are there every year. So.
Yeah. So
We'll-
because this
we'll
is
start
our
out.
first year, we're gonna start out like supplying, but
It would be nice if people that came would bring something,
Well,
though, right?
no, it's not even that. But if we see consistently there's groups, because at the St. Peter's Rosary there are families that come together and they sit at the same table every night. It's a very ritual thing. Like.
Yep. Don't sit
you
at
have to
that
sit
table.
in a certain spot, and if the mojo's off, then the prayers aren't heard, and it's all craziness. But at St. Peter's, they'll go around and they'll ask different tables if they would provide pastry on a certain night. They give them a couple of days in advance notice. So we're hoping to do that. We're hoping that, people will either offer that they'll bring something on a particular night that we can count on it, or we'll go around and ask people. So we're
It's
not too
not
worried
like
about
the
it. but-
Novena girls ever go hungry.
Yes.
No. Big part of it is food. Big part of it.
No. So we're really excited to really just have everybody experience what we experience, and we hope and pray that girls our age or younger bring the kids. Like, we don't care if the kids are screaming and crying. We just ask that they're not running around like lunatics, but not that they have to sit and be quiet, but, you know, like church. It's-
Now,
it's
you
like
have the
church.
thing, that scrolls with the songs? Or
Well,
did you have that
we've
before?
talked about that, but we think that we're not gonna, so what he's talking about is here, when I do it in the house, we project up here on the wall, the English translation, so anybody that's attending can understand what the prayer means, what are we singing, what are we saying? And, I think we're gonna not
we
do it.
decided to do it on the opposite
Yeah.
page of the. in
We're
the
gonna
book.
Oh,
make
nice.
new books.
That's,
and
oh,
we're
you're gonna make
and
the
we're
books,
gonna
and
have-
so,
yeah.
so if people have never done it before, you can come,
You can
and
come.
there'll be the songbooks.
Yeah, every table, every seat will have a songbook. We encourage you to bring your own rosary beads. We will have some. Bridget we've already started ordering a ton of supplies. You know, what we do, it's right after Christmas, literally a couple of days after Christmas, their phones all start buzzing because I'm texting everybody.
At 5:30 in the morning.
Yes, at 5:30 in the morning. I wait until 5:30 because I don't sleep.
11:30
At night, yes.
We have, we have that in common, her and I have that in common, we don't wait to
Come in,
text
Mona.
people. Oh, there we go.
Nicole's here with the salad. We're
Nicole.
having lunch today too. I have spadini and salad.
Oh, nice.
never
Come and
We
sit.
never go hungry. No, so Andrea knows, Andrea's husband, Chris, he knows that she's all mine.
Yep, as soon as it starts and I stay till March, so.
Yeah. She's ready to March. It used to be February to March that he
We're
knew when she wasn't
separated.
home, she was here. Now we've bumped it into
Yeah.
January, so I'm cutting in on his time. Big time.
Yeah, we
It's
separated for a few
Nicole.
months.
He's a St. Joseph's widow.
Yeah.
Nicole is our espresso and cappuccino maker. She's the pro.
She is a
She
pro.
gets up every night at during a certain song. We have it timed so that when we're done with our prayers, coffee is on the table,
My
which we
husband-
will still be doing.
My husband thought I was buzzed when I. No, I'm gonna have 4 espressos.
I'll keep
Shut up for 5 hours. Do you buzz? No, it was.
Listen, we keep our health
That's right.
well hydrated,
Caffeinated.
fed, and I don't want to hear the word diet the whole month of March. I don't want to hear you're on a diet
So
'cause
the
we don't do
skinny
diet.
girls sitting next to
Yeah,
us.
exactly.
Caffeinated.
So when are our priests coming? We should tell them that.
Yes, Erin came to us a couple of years ago. Erin, I could say, yeah, okay. Erin was diagnosed with cancer, and as Facebook friends and high school friends, our kids played together and everything. When I heard that she was sick, I reached out to her and told her that, you know, we would pray for her for our rosary. So for a couple of years while she was undergoing treatments, we have a prayer list that we read. People that are sick, they send their names and we read them every night and pray for them. And Erin was one of them. So when Erin recovered, she reached out to me and asked if her and her mother, Maureen, who's here, asked if they could come and, you know, give thanks and experience what we were doing here. And Erin never left.
Actually, you actually reached out to me the March that I had radiation treatment. That was really, it was a very difficult time. I was very ill, and said, you know, you wouldn't believe in the power of prayer, and if you can make it, if you can come over. And I just couldn't. It was at a point that I couldn't, it just wasn't possible. But after the Novena week, I started to turn the corner.
Wow.
So I said, I'm gonna go next year. So here I am.
So, you know, everything that goes into this, I mean, there's so many elements to it that all need to be put together, and I'm blessed because I have an enormous tribe of people that help, and everybody has a different job and takes care of something. So when Erin came on board, she had just taken a new job at Bishop Fenwick, where we went to high school. And at the time, we had Father Garibaldi that would come and do our altar blessing, and he was getting elderly, you know, he was getting ready to retire, and it was very difficult for him to get out at night to come and do that. So, Erin.
So, ironically, at the same time, we were blessed at Fenwick to welcome a new priest who was a physics teacher who was from Italy. And
Oh, wow.
a young priest, Father Benetti,
Yes,
and
a
I
young
to-
priest.
And I told
We've grown
him
to love.
about Novena, and he said I would love to come. And then, of course, then it all started with, can you do a mass? What can we do? And so the way it all kind of unfolded is the day he was supposed to come, the first day that we set for him, he also has parish duties in Medford. And there was and all of a sudden conflict. Priests, live a life where they can, have to drop everything and go. And he couldn't come that day, and he postponed till Saturday, but we needed all the food blessed. So another priest, Father Gilson, who is actually from the Carmelite in Peabody, kind of pinch hit for him. And when he walked in, he was so taken back by the beauty of the prayers in the altar. He says that it has such an effect on him, that he did a beautiful blessing of the altar and the food that year, and he asked if he could be asked back. So then Father Benetti came on the Saturday to do the mass, which was absolutely
Amazing.
Well,
phenomenal.
now wait a second. Was he overcome by the beauty of the altar, or did he have the unbelievable food? And that was that the
Listen,
Well,
we take very good care
Yes.
of our priests.
Yes.
Okay?
A
Very
little bit of
good
both.
care.
So then Father Benetti came to do the mass on Saturday, and so then the following year, they both wanted to come. So we have Father Gilson that comes to do the blessing of the altar and the food, and he'll be coming on Friday the 13th
Yeah.
of March
Yeah.
to do that.
Which
Father-
everybody is welcome to come. It's going to be before the rosary starts
at the Old American Legion.
at the
At the
American
American
Legion.
Legion.
Yeah.
And
And you don't want to miss it because he does an
He does.
amazing
He
job.
does an amazing
awesome.
job. And then Saturday morning, the 14th, Father Benetti will be saying mass for us.
And he speaks in Italian too,
And he
which
speaks
is
in
so
Italian.
fun.
He's from Northern Italy,
Yes.
but we overlook that.
Yeah.
He has his favorite song.
And he has his favorite songs. Yes. He
That-
picks the songs.
We need to practice before he comes. And-
Which was happened to be my Uncle Mike's favorite song.
Yes,
Yeah.
we
And
actually,
it was just so
And then your daughter
moving.
sang, remember last year she did the violin?
she did the violin too.
That was beautiful.
She's gonna do that
So
again, right?
beautiful. Yes.
Oh,
So
yes.
this
See, we
year-
have entertainment at our
This
house.
year we have an additional priest coming. So we have a new priest at Fenwick who teaches one religion class, and he's also at St. Thomas St. John in Peabody. And he had heard about how much fun Father Benetti Father Gilson have when they come. And he said, I have Wednesdays and Thursdays off from parish duties and would love to come be a part of it. So he's gonna come do a final blessing.
Yes, on St. Joseph's Day.
So, and his handle on Instagram is Rev Kev. So he's another really young priest.
Wow.
So for right now, we are very blessed to
Yeah, we have three
many.
priests. We have three priests
Priest
that.
cult following.
I know.
We do. We are
So,
so blessed to have them. We're so lucky.
Father Kevin said you had me at Zeppelin. So,
Yeah.
I said okay.
Yeah.
So, sometimes because of their unique schedules, every once in a while they'll, bump their time to a different day. It's just the nature of their calling.
Yeah.
But they've been just absolutely fantastic about coming in, and they're not in and out, they stay.
Oh, they stay.
And they enjoy,
stay.
and they want to pray, and they do the rosary with us, and
Yeah.
it's just very beautiful. So.
It is.
Peter Favaza, doesn't he help you with the?
Hi, Peter.
He's watching. Donna
Hi, honey.
Arizona is watching. Mike Carter, Linda
Donna.
Mayo.
Donna, did you rest up from Pastor Day yet?
She says she's at a meeting. She saw she has to miss the
I know, we
flight.
have a lot of people on
Peter
cross
Favaza,
country.
did he help
He's
you?
in Las Vegas.
Yeah, but did he help you with the curtains or something?
No, I
He's in
help him with the
yeah.
curtains for St. Peter's,
St.
the
Peter's.
window. at St.
Oh, for
Peter's
the window to
College.
St.
Yeah.
Peter. Okay, I'm sorry.
I help him.
All right.
But Peter, you can come here and help us anytime.
Yeah, he's very talented.
He is.
Yeah.
He's super talented.
So there's that.
You want to talk about confirmation?
Oh, so yes, if there's any students out there that need confirmation service hours and would like to donate time during Novena,
Reach out to us.
reach out to
Or
us.
high school service hours.
High school service hours, yeah, confirmation or high school service hours, would be happy to,
Put you to work.
implement that and, be the liaison between what you need and we could use the help, so.
And don't forget your community service form.
Yes.
Yes.
Do your service and
Bring
we
it
will
with
sign
you.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
What does
no.
that mean?
Some high schools have a graduation requirement for community service, and the kids fill out a form, and then they write an essay about the type of service.
Oh, wow.
And they have to do that as well for confirmation for
I
some
bet the
parishes.
FEMA kids would probably have that, right?
Yeah, they have it in
Yeah.
Rockport, we
Yeah.
have, well, in the public
Right,
schools. they have
Manchester
it,
Essex has
Oh,
40
really?
hours.
Yeah,
That's
Rockport
cool.
and Rockport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's gonna be a lot of jobs since, like you say, we're taking this on the road.
We need elevator
Attendance.
attendants and things like that. for the
Yeah,
elderly.
that's the other thing, the hall has an elevator, so, it's gonna be handicap accessible for people,
That's
that
great.
couldn't go in and out of homes, they'll be able to come and experience the St. Joseph
There you
Rosary. Is there anything else about that we were supposed to talk about? Yeah, so just reach out either to any one of the girls and we'll put you in touch with Erin because that's Erin's job.
That'll be
You said
my
the weekend days rosary is held in the morning to make it easier for the elderly, right?
Yes, so anytime the rosary, during the dates, what are the dates again?
The 10th to the 18th.
The 10th
March.
through the 18th,
March.
any day, any one of those days that falls on a weekend, the rosary is at 9:30 in the morning. And there is a mass
Yes,
at 9:30, one of the rosaries on the
Saturday the 14th.
Saturday the 14th.
Erin has this down.
Oh,
Very organized.
listen, this is why I have these people.
You just don't look at her.
And then when I text them, they're like, oh God, what does she want? No, it's so nice to have so much help because the first couple of years, it was Elle and I. My mother and I. Yeah, my mother's not here.
Yeah,
My
glad
mother's a big
that
help,
you
too.
mentioned your mother.
My
because-
mother. I miss you, Mom.
Thank you, go ahead.
This year we had to yell at Amanda.
Yes.
We didn't have any Marty yell
Yeah,
at.
but Ma's coming home for St. Joseph's this year. She'll be with us. She'll be here for the whole month. Yeah, so we hope. I want to make sure we have everything that we said we were going to talk about. We have the priest.
If everything was on.
Oh, so we're gonna put the schedule up. We'll have the schedule up. You can post it now, I guess, but maybe we'll stick it to the top of the blog during St. Joseph's.
Yeah, when it gets
Yeah,
closer,
when it gets closer. We don't need to do it now, but
Yeah, we definitely have a schedule, and we even have another schedule that we're allowed to give to our husbands, so they know.
Oh, yes.
Don't bother us on these days.
I'm sure they're heartbroken that they get time to watch the game and have the control of the
I think
clicker.
we might end up all meeting at the Elks a couple
I know.
times.
Well, no,
Why?
they're gonna be meeting downstairs in the
Yeah,
Legion
there
Hall,
you
so
go.
they're all there. Or at Tono on the corner. No, the men will definitely, will be called in this year because
Yeah.
we gotta lug everything, usually we're just running around my house pulling stuff from everywhere. But now we have stuff at Bridget's house, Andrea's house, my house,
Yeah.
like
Chaos.
storage, so,
There you go.
We'll fill all the cars and we'll make it
Yeah.
happen.
Caravan.
So this afternoon, we have all the rest of the girls most of the girls are coming. We're gonna bag up our pasta we made on Saturday and check that off our list.
And then we get a week off.
They get a week off.
I'm sure there will be texts.
100%, yes.
There will be texts.
Yeah, so
All
we
right.
just hope everybody joins us. You're more than welcome to come.
March 10th to
18th.
the 18th. At the
Yeah,
American
yeah.
Legion Hall, we'll be posting the schedule on Good Morning Gloucester. I'm sure Felicia and all the Gumatis will be pounding Facebook with the information as well.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. This is great. Now is the time to eat. All right.
Smithy and you ready?
All right. I'll see you guys.
Thank you.
Novena Cast.